Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Som TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now the major headlines. Taraba First Lady donates food items to orphanages ahead of Children's Day. Tinubu condemns bullying, pledges safer environment for children on Children's Day. Tinubu grants 14 days grace for ground rent defaulters, including PDP-owned properties, as PDP governorship aspirant Peter Obafemi vows to tackle insecurity, restore free education in Ekiti. Suspected suicide bomber killed in Abuja blast. Kidnappers strike Kubwa estate. I am Esther Oka-Stephen with the news in full. Ahead of Children's Day celebration yesterday, the wife of Taraba State Governor Angian Abu Kefas donated food items including bags of rice, carton of noodles, and cartons of cooking oil to several orphanages in the state capital. Represented by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Child Development, Mary Sijen, she expressed hope to bring joy to the children and encourage them to focus on their education, while seeking prayer for the success of the current administration. Heads of the orphanages thanked her for her kind gesture and prayed for her continued blessing. Some TV correspondents complete the report. All right. Similarly, in a statement issued on Children's Day, President Tinubu condemned all forms of bullying and pledged to build a safer, more inclusive environment for children across the country. The theme, Stand Up, Speak Up, Building a Bullying-Free Generation, it reaffirmed its administration's commitment to child protection through initiatives under Renewed Hope agenda, including the implementation of the National Plan to End Violence Against Children, legal reforms, and increased investment in education, healthcare, and nutrition. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, and other affected property owners in the Federal Capital Territory have been granted a 14-day grace period by President Bola Tinubu to settle outstanding ground rent and regularize land documentations, halting ongoing revocations. The intervention follows the commencement of enforcement action on 4,794 properties which the FCT administration said had defaulted on rent payment for up to 43 years. Director of Land Administration, Chijioke Nwakweze, confirmed the suspension, while FCT Minister Nyesom Wike urged all landowners to clear their dues or risk permanent loss of their titles. Penalties range from 12 million to 5 million, depending on location. In a related development, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has announced the postponement of its proposed National Executive Committee (NEC) meeting, which was earlier scheduled for May 27, 2025. In a statement issued by the PDP National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu, the party explained that the decision was made to allow the Reconciliation Committee, led by former Senate President Senator Bukola Saraki, to conclude efforts aimed at resolving internal disputes within the party. The postponement, according to Anyanwu, is intended to ensure a peaceful and harmonious NEC session. The state also cautioned against any meeting notice or publications issued by the Deputy National Secretary acting in an unofficial capacity, labeling such communications as illegal and unauthorized. A new date for the NEC meeting will be announced in accordance with the People's Democratic Party Constitution and the Electoral Act. Anyanwu expressed regret for any inconveniences the postponement may cause to party stakeholders. Still on party politics, report has it that the power struggles between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has intensified the crisis within the People's Democratic Party, threatening the planned May 27th NEC meeting. Wike withdrew from reconciliation efforts, accusing Makinde and Ellis of bridging agreement. The Saraki-led Peace Committee and the PDP Board of Trustees are holding an emergency meeting to salvage this situation. Meanwhile, several state party chapters have criticized Wike, alleging he is undermining the party to serve APC interests. The party unity and future now hang on resolving this internal conflict. In a related development, Peter Obafemi of People's Democratic Party aspirants for the 2026 Ekiti governorship election has pledged to combat insecurity in the state by strengthening the Omotekun Corps and supporting conventional security agencies. Speaking at the Elekole of Ikole Ekiti Palace, Obafemi criticized the poor road condition that criminals exploit and promised 24-hour surveillance on state border to curb banditry, herdsmen attack, and kidnappings. He also criticized the current APC administration's handlings of education, promising free education for Ekiti children if elected. Obafemi expressed confidence in securing the PDP ticket and reclaiming the state, receiving support from traditional rulers who described him as a respected son of Ikole. A suspected suicide bomber was killed and other persons injured following an explosion near Mogadishu barracks in Abuja on Monday. The blast, reportedly caused by a device concealed in a rubber, can raise initial fear of a bomb attack. However, military sources suggested it may have been triggered by a mobile device rather than a conventional IED. A combined team of security and emergency agencies responded to the scene while media access was restricted. Meanwhile, armed kidnapper attacked Groves Home Estate in Kubwa early that morning, briefly holding residents hostage and abducting 2 individuals, one of whom was later released under unclear circumstances. In a case of alleged police brutality in Abuja, assist triggered public outrage after a woman identified as Mercy on ESCOM accused a police officer of violently assaulting her brother. According to her account, the incident occurred near Wuse Market as her brother was returning from church. She said the officer, who appeared intoxicated, spat on her brother unprovoked and then beat him for over 30 minutes with a stick, despite his visible physical injury from the prior accident. A video shared online showed the victim was visibly bruised, describing how the officers attacked him without a case. Witnesses reportedly tried to intervene, but other officers failed to restrain the attackers. In response, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command confirmed that the officers involved had been identified and the disciplinary proceedings were underway. The victim has also been contacted by authorities for further details. In the light of the foregoing, the Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, has urged Nigerians not to generalize their anger towards the entire police force due to the misconduct of a few officers. Responding to the social media user who expressed hatred for the police, Adejobi acknowledged the existence of some hearing personnel but described them as a small minority who could still be reformed. He emphasized the importance of public support in driving meaningful reforms and called for collective effort to improve the police rather than condemning the institutions. The Director General of the Department of State Service, Oluwatosin Ajayi, has launched a community engagement initiatives involving the construction of schools, religious centers, and sporting facilities to help counter tourism and promote national unity. Speaking through a former DSS director at the inauguration of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Center in Kaduna, Ajayi emphasized the importance of reducing discontent through social development, funded via corporate social responsibility and private donations, not government funds. The project, which serves orphans and underprivileged children, was praised by the Sultan of Sokoto and other dignitaries as a model of interfaith collaboration and a symbol of hope for Nigerians' future. In a bold step towards eliminating obstetric fistula and restoring dignity to affected women, 55 women in Gombe State have undergone free fistula repair surgeries through the United Nations Population Fund-led initiatives, conducted in partnership with the Fustal Foundation and the government of Norway. The Christian Association of Nigeria in Taraba State condemned the recent deadly attack in Karim Lamido, urging stronger government actions, justice for victims, and dialogue among communities. CAN also called for prayers and unity to restore peace in the state. The Taraba State University has unveiled and dedicated the Adonai Chapel of Transformation, a majestic worship center completed after 13 years of construction, symbolizing a journey of faith, perseverance, and divine provision. Built without formal levies, the 98.8 million naira chapel now stands as a spiritual landmark on campus. The dedication ceremony drew dignitaries, religious leaders, and government representatives, deliberating on chapel as a center of transformation and the testament of collective vision and commitment. In a related development, the management team of Taraba State University, led by Vice Chancellor Professor Sunday Paul Bako, paid a courtesy visit to Honorable Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Dr. Mike Dio Jang, to congratulate him of his recent appointment and strengthen collaboration. During the visit, Professor Bako praised Dr. Jang's leadership and presented the university internal generated product, highlighting TSU commitment to entrepreneurship and revenue generation. Dr. Jang expressed appreciation and pledged the ministry's support for the university's mission to advance tertiary education in Taraba State. The Taraba State government, through the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has taken prompt and proactive steps to address the communal conflict between farmers and aiders in Karim Lamido local government area. Led by SEMA Executive Secretary Dr. Echuze Audu, the agency conducted on-site assessment and delivered critical relief materials, including food, financial aid, and other essential to internally displaced persons in the camp across Bandawa, Karim Mandi, Bambuka, and Jen. The intervention brought together key local stakeholders, demonstrating a collaborative effort to support affected communities. This initiative underscored the government's strong commitment to citizens' welfare, peace building, and sustainable conflict resolution in the region. The Nigerian Environmental Society, NES, recently paid a courtesy visit to the Commissioner for Environment and Climate Change, Honorable Aishat Brede, and the Akreso Project Coordinator in Jalingo, seeking a strengthened collaboration aimed at safeguarding the environment and promoting sustainability in Taraba State. Led by NEC leaders Dr. Musa Garkida David, the visit underscored the importance of partnership between the society and the ministry to address environmental challenges ahead of initiatives such as World Environment Day. Let's take a brief commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Some TV.
Emmanuel Odenrede. I'm a filmmaker and a social worker. Child's rights are fundamental human rights, essential for promoting the well-being, dignity, and development of children. Upholding this right enables children to grow into capable, confident, and compassionate individuals, contributing positively to our society. In northeastern Nigeria, for example, ensuring child's rights is particularly very challenging due to insurgency, displacement, poverty, and certain cultural beliefs. Compared to other regions in Nigeria, many children lack access to quality education, making them vulnerable to violence, exploitation, and abuse. Additionally, malnutrition, disease, and limited health care services exhibit their plight. To address this, the government, as a matter of urgency, will not just enact but enforce laws protecting children's rights, improve education, health care, and security.
Welcome back. Coming up next, Saudi authorities have barred Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi from performing the 2025 Hajj and deported him back to Nigeria despite initially granting him a visa. Gumi, who was part of the delegation sponsored by the Nigerian Hajj Commission, said he was denied entry to the Medina due to his views on global politics. He expressed gratitude to Nigerian authorities for promising to engage Saudi officials on the matter. Gumi has since returned to Nigeria and resumed his teaching activities. European stock market rebounded on Monday after former U.S. President Donald Trump delayed a planned 50% tariff on EU goods until 9th July. The move followed a positive phone call with Europe Commission President Ursula von der Leyen after Trump initially threatened the tariff for June 1st over stalled trade talks. Paris and Frankfurt markets opened over 1% higher, while U.S. futures also rose. Analysts warned of ongoing volatility due to Trump's unpredictable policy shifts and concerned over rising U.S. debt and inflation. Asian markets were mixed, and investors now await key U.S. economic data and Federal Reserve minutes later in a week. French President Emmanuel Macron, on a visit to Vietnam, called for a global order based on international law amid rising geopolitical tension in Southeast Asia. Speaking in Hanoi alongside Vietnamese President Leong Quoc, Macron positioned France as a strategic partner for Vietnam, which faces growing pressure from both the United States and China. The two countries signed several agreements, including the nuclear energy and VietJet placed on $8 billion order for Airbus plane. Macron promoted his Indo-Pacific strategy as a third way amid trade threats from the U.S. and tertiary dispute with China, while also holding closed-door discussions on human rights. That's all for this edition on News Hour from Som TV. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now stay tuned for more lineup of programs from Som TV. I am Esther Oka Stephen. Thanks for watching.